I'm Ian Wilkins. I live in Sussex, which is halfway between London and Brighton in the south of England. I'm a businessman, dad, church leader and a bookshop, Christian bookshop owner. I've got a little clothes shop, a little bit of property, and I consult with a few charities. I work in the charity sector, the Christian charity sector, a bit of everything. They call Britain a post-Christian society, which means that we've sort of had it with almost the established church, and I sense there's an element of post-Christian communication about NOOMA and flannel, in that it doesn't assume much. So for people that haven't been brought up in a Christian and church tradition, which is a lot of people in Britain now, I think you can watch one and get a lot from it without having a sort of background in the church or whatever. The statistic is 70% of people in the UK still call themselves Christian, and yet only about 7% go to church. And I think one thing about the NOOMA films is they appeal to those 63% who come from some sort of weird Christian viewpoint and would call themselves Christians. That's a huge bulk of people in the UK who still, somehow have this kind of Christian DNA and some sympathy for elements of the Christian message, and yet they just haven't been served well by the established church for the last 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is. We've gone through about 20 years of massive secularism, and people have never been better off materially. And so I think after this sort of Christian phase, up to about the 1970s, 80s, we've gone through 20, 30 years of real mass consumerism, and people thought that would make them feel better. And what they're really saying now is, actually, that hasn't made us feel much better either. So we're still empty, we're still questioning, we're still searching. I've got a couple of friends who kind of throw stuff around and wrestle with things, and I just knew they'd like it, because it's not, we've got all the answers and you better believe all this or else sort of thing. It just comes with this modern dialogue type approach, which I knew they'd like it, and sure enough they did, and they borrowed the whole kind of lot, you know. So I think they've hit us in the UK sort of where we're at with our Christianity and with our spirituality. So you kind of actually watch it, you think, yeah, I think like that. You know, I'm coming from sort of where you're coming from on that. And so you're getting this, there's not this separation between life and Christianity. You're actually getting people living out their Christian lives in an authentic way, wherever they are. And I think when that happens, you get changed communities and changed lives, because people see something in it that's authentic.